Sikane tahu sahaja tahu. Jadi tahu kalau Satipaṭṭḥāna ayat Sati hanya dia sini. Jadi ini tahu itu kan.
Sayadaw says, Sayadaw has already explained what kind of disciplinary code you need as to become freedom fighters, to revolt all your mental disturbances, difficulties through the observance of disciplinary code and conduct as the foundation of your practice. It is also necessary to become truthful people, trustworthy people, in the development of the comrades, to have forceful power in your revolutionary act. Now Sayadaw would like to explain about the duties, what you have to follow in the way to revolt all those defilements, to get freedom in your life. According to the Satipaṭṭḥāna, now Sayadaw will try to explain the real act, how you should be real freedom fighters.
Satipaṭṭḥāna ha Satiya teku Paṭṭhāna teku. Jadi nak kupang sathare kumpang pagi berapa le? Jadi dia Sati sura maya huwa. Paṭṭhāna sura ga kai ti te wunye ma pet phit ti. Tashin lo ye wan de ge lo phit ti. ဆွေးမြေ့ပြီးလို့ဒီလိုဒီမှာလေလို့ဆိုတော့အဲဝိနစိတ္တဓမ္မခေါ်တဲ့အာယုန်ကြီးချက်ရှုခွင့်ရှုွယ်လေးမျိုးအဲဒီအာရုံပေါက်စားလိုက်တဲ့အခါကျတော့ကဲ့၍ကြည်တော့အမှန်ရဟုတ်တဲ့ဝင်၍မပြတ်ဖြစ်တော့အမှန်ရဟုတ်တရှိန်လုံးထိုးဝင်သွားတော့အမှန်ရဟုတ်ဒီပဲချုပ်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင်တော့ရှင်းလို့ထိုးရင်တော့အမှားရဘူးအာယုဘောမှာဖြတ်ကျက်ပြီးတော့မပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတော့အမှားရဘူးဒီပဲချုပ်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင်တော့ဆွေးမြဲတော့အမှားရဘူးပါတော့
Sayadaw says, in the word Satipaṭṭḥāna, there are two separate words. One is sati, another is paṭṭhāna. Sati means awareness, carefulness, watchfulness, power of observance. As you know, in your own way, mindfulness. But as I try to understand the Sayadaw's real intention to describe the sati, that is the power of observance. Patthāna has got different meanings. There are 4 elementary objects. To focus your mind: physical process, sensational process, mind process, mental object process. As the meditators, you have to place your mind very close to those one of the objects. So therefore Sayadaw says in Burmese, Kaiwe Td, that means which stands by, nearly to the object. Kawe, that means falling onto object, entering into object. Mapyat Piwen, the Burmese words are quite difficult here. Rushing forward without any break. And that aspect will stay spreading all over the object, covering nook and corners. So in this way, there are different meanings could be shown by the word Patthāna. In brief, you can take the meaning as firmly standing on the object. So that is the brief meaning of Patthāna. When you add the sati word and you make the combined word as Satipaṭṭḥāna, that means the observing power stands by nearly to the objects. Falling on the observing power falls onto the object, enter into the object. And the third meaning is the observing power rushes forward to the object. And the fourth meaning could you get as the observing power spreads all over without missing any part of those objects.
ချ
Sayadaw says, in that sense, your mind never withers away, never scatters away. It stays focusing on the object, covering as a whole. So in this way, the observing power stands still firmly on the object. That is the meaning of Satipaṭṭḥāna.
ဒီစကားစုမှာဒီတိပ္ပံလုံငါမှာဘုရားမြတ်စွာကစတိလို့ဒါတော့တင်မဟောပဲနဲ့ပဋ္ဌာနာဆိုတဲ့ဒီဝိသေသနာပုဂ္ဂိဆက်သွင်းမိကြဖို့ခေါ်ရတော့သူကြစီခြင်းလို့ပါလားတမန်စတိမျိုးမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတာအဲလိုသူကြတဲ့စတိဆိုတော့ဤစီခြင်းနဲ့ဘုရားမြတ်ပါ
In the discourse of Satipaṭṭḥāna, the Buddha didn't use only the word as sati. He combined the another extraordinary word, specific word as patthana. That means the sati which the meditators or the practitioners are needed is not simple type of sati or mindfulness. It should have strong meaning following together to show the specific meaning of sati. So therefore the Buddha used the word in combination as Satipaṭṭḥāna.
ဒီတော့ပဋ္ဌာနာမှာလည်းပဲ ပမပါပဲဌာနလောက်တင်ပေါ့ကြည်သောတတိဒီလိုလေးပဲကိုပြလို့ရှိရင်လည်းပဲမလုံတော့သိတာလည်းမလို့ပဆိုတဲ့စကားလုံးကိုမှထည့်တယ်ပနဲ့ဌာနမျိုးပြီးပဋ္ဌာနာသတ္တတိကအဋ္ဌတိကိုညင်းရဆိုတဲ့အတိုင်းပေါ့စကားလုံးတတ္တအပူပေါ့ဒီထည့်ပြီးတော့သုံးတဲ့အတွက်အနေဒီပဲလည်းပူမူပေါ့လေလေးနဲ့လေးနဲ့လည်းဖြစ်စီခြင်းဆန္ဒပါဖို့ပေါ်နေတယ်
And again, the Buddha didn't describe the word as thana only to show the standstillness of the mindfulness or the observing power. He wanted to show again the extraordinary meaning even in the word thana. So that means not just only stand stillness is necessary, but it should be more than that. To show that specific, meaningful aspect, the Buddha used again another word as pa. So the single word pa has got its own specific meaning. Whenever you add some new words with another word, there should be different meaning on it or in it. So in this way here also we can see the different types of deriving meanings, referring meanings when the Buddha used the word joining with the per in Thana. So therefore, Paṭṭhāna also has the different meaning, important meaning.
အဲဒီပဋ္ဌာနာမှာရှိနေတဲ့ပတ္တတ္တရာကဘုသတ္ထအလုံးအကဲဆိုတဲ့ထူးခြားတဲ့အနေအထားတွေကိုသူကဟောပြပါတယ်
In Paṭṭhāna, Pa refers the meaning as extremity, severeness. In Pali it is called Bhusattha.
လွန်ကဲဆိုတဲ့အနေအထားတွေကတော့မိမိတဏ္ဍာမှာကာယဝိညာဏစိတ်ဓမ္မခေါ်တဲ့ရှုခွင့်ရှုတဲ့အရုံလေးမျိုးတွေကတစ်မျိုးမျိုးထင်ရှားပေါ်လာတယ်ပေါ်လာတဲ့တပြိုင်တည်းအဲ့ဒီအာရုံတွေကိုဝင်သွားရတယ်ဝင်ပြီးတော့အဲ့ဒီအမှားရတဲ့ဒီလေးဟာအမြဲဖြစ်နေတယ်အမြဲဖြစ်ပြီးတော့တည်နေတယ်အဲ့ဒါပါလွန်ကဲတဲ့ဝင်ပြီးတော့ဆိုတာတဲ့ဝင်ပြီးတော့မပြတ်ဖြစ်နေရတယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီလေးကိုရခေါင်းသားလေးပေါ်လာတဲ့အဲ့ဒီလည်းဝင်ခိုးသွားလိုက်ပိန်သားလေးပေါ်လာတဲ့အဲ့ဒီလည်းဝင်ခိုးသွားလိုက်ဝင်သွားလိုက်ခေါင်းလေးပေါင်းလေးပိန်လိုက်ပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒီလည်းဝင်ပြီးတော့ခိုးဝင်ပြီးတော့သွားရတာပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတယ်ဒါကိုယ်လေးကအခြားစိတ်ကူးစိတ်ဓာတ်တွေပေါ်လို့ရှိရင်ဒီတိုင်းအဲ့ဒီလည်းခိုးသွားလိုက်ကိုယ်လေးကကောင်းစုအမျိုးမျိုးသာသာမှုပေါ်လာလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီဝင်ခိုးပြီးတော့ပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတယ်ဒီကြောင့်အစားရှိတဲ့သဘောဉာဏ်တွေပေါ်လာလို့ရှိရင်ပေါ်လာတဲ့အခါကျအဲ့ဒီဝင်ခိုးပြီးတော့ဖြက်ကလေးပေါ့တက်တက်လာဝင်ခိုးပြီးတော့ပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတယ်ကျောင်းကောင်းချမ်းလို့ပတ်တဲ့ခါမှာကြွားနေတာနဲ့စားတယ်ဒီအမှုများတွေပေါ်တယ်ချူချူတွေပေါ်တယ်အဲ့ဒီရဲ့ကိုတခါတည်းမပြတ်ဘိုးကခုခုပြီးတော့ပြတ်ချင်အဲ့ဒီလေးကမထွက်ရဘူးဆိုတော့ထွက်လို့ရှိရင်ကိလေသာကဘုန်းကြီးကတော့ပါဘူးဒီမှာဘုလို့လောကလူရှိလို့ဘုလို့ရှိလို့တဲ့ဘုကခိုင်ပါတဲ့အကာအကွယ်တစ်ခုခန္ဓာတစ်ခုယူပြီးတော့ပေါ့ဉာဏ်လူကလုံနေအောင်ဆိုရမှာဉာဏ်လူလည်းပဲဉာဏ်လူလည်းဒီပုံမှာဖွင့်လာရအောင်သူကလည်းပဲသူပုံကြည့်အောင်ဆိုရလုံညုံတဲ့နေရာကြီးမှာခုတ်ခုပြီးတော့မပြတ်ပေါ်လို့အောင်းနေတယ်ဒီအောင်းအဲ့ဒီလိုမျိုးပါ
Sayadaw is trying to explain how the single word per could give specific meaning. As the Satipaṭṭḥāna practice, there are 4 objects according to the Satipaṭṭḥāna. Physical, sensational, mind and mental objects. Among those objects, whatever object may arise, the meditators have to fall onto it or enter into it immediately without missing any part at the same time when the object is present there. As the physical object or as the primary object, you have the process of rising and falling. When the rising arises, or rising is arising, your observing power should immediately rush forwards to it and try to get whole process as the rising at the same time when it is present there. When falling may arise, go violently towards the object with speed, not to miss any part of it. Try to observe with observing power as falling. You couldn't make any delay whenever the object is present there. In the same way, if there will be any kind of sensational objects, one of the feelings, try to get the feeling constantly, accurately at the same time. Try to dwell on it. Try to stay on it. Try to get the object as quickly as possible without missing it. And if there will be any thought, try to get that thought in the same manner. If there will be any seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting or touching, try to act in the same way without missing any object from your observing power. To show that specific meaning, how to get the object as a whole, as rising, falling, pain, stiffness, tension, vibration, thought, thinking, idea, imagination, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and so on and so forth. Whatever object might be there, try to get the object immediately, precisely, concurrently, with full of awareness. So that is the meaning which can be shown by the single word per.
Adilo kaya wala Satipaṭṭḥāna kore ayun leche dukkhaita ne di pogai ma bo di lo ma piat tet won nide a mye ma piat tati phit ne lo shi ye di lo tati me chin jaw masaya ayun ne dwi lo shi met mu lo ba akwai ma ta lo Yes, I do near dollar from that. A child did that from that. Particularly, oh, yeah, I will leave of her. I remember, yeah, she might get any action one. The degree of shit, you know, I need the Satipaṭṭḥāna. Suggest sickly, who only a Baba, no, she can no, she can learn. The girl that the Dimitri was on which you are dying, no one of that did that yet. Opposite in the Nigeria. Educated the church, they know a lot. And money they pay them, the chairman to sell over. The chairman to sell over. ဣတိတာလွတ်သွားတယ်ဆိုတာချက်ချင်းကြောင်းနေတာလေချိန်မဲချိန်မဲကြောင်းနေတာအဲ့ဒီချိန်မဲချိန်မဲကြောင်းနေရအောင်ဆိုတာဣတိတာခွင့်မပါဘူးဆိုတာ
Sayadaw says, when the meditators or the yogis try all the time, moment after moment, second after second, if their mind or their observing power constantly falling onto the object, rushing towards the object, getting the object without missing any parts of it, and have precise and clear, accurate noting, there couldn't arise any kind of defilements, any kind of unwholesome thoughts, any kind of dangerous force of enemy. It is really the cover to have protection and safety. When you are trying to revolt with your enemies, without cover, it is not possible to have success in your revolutionary act. So that is why in worldly fighting also, the soldiers are needed some cover in front of them to avoid the enemy's stroke, and to have effective power to raid to the enemy. Whenever you will have the observing power as the cover in your each and every noting, then the enemy of defilement cannot overpower to you. You would be free from the danger of those defilements. If not, if the observing power is not strong enough in each and every noting, if there may be some lacking, some gap in it, easily the enemy enters into it. Whenever there will be object to have greed, greed easily arises. Whenever there will be any object to arise craving, craving easily arises. Whenever there will be lustful object, lust arises immediately. Whenever there will be displeasing object, arises hatred immediately. So in this way, immediately after the missing of observing power, there enters one of the enemies very easily. Then they destroy you, they win to you, and they overwhelm to you to give lot of trouble to you. It is really obvious in your practice. As much you miss to note the rising object, so much the defilements become stronger and stronger, and you cannot control your mind. In that way, you will get in trouble, and all sorts of disappointment could arise easily, that why we cannot control the mind. And the reason is because you don't have the forceful observing power during the noting moment. To show that specific meaning, so therefore Sayadaw says the per word is used with the Thāna.
Teacher Ayupoyama will be the projection here, Suraga. Before Ayunema will let her silly hiccup. The same rule, the whole rule for the when we speaking with us. While here, revolution of the Yadishia will cause of Yaga. She just she did the same she did, same thing can be yeah. Same she did. I didn't want you. I didn't want you to tell you. Back and later, what the deed to have. Back and later, the same you. You will be are you boy? The same you will be what the deed, not just the same you, the whole rule. I didn't leave it for the other.
Sayadaw says, in ordinary revolution, whenever you are trying to revolt and you are trying to fight with the opposite party, when from the leader or the head soldier order to you to move forward, you cannot make any delay. You cannot linger. Immediately you have to rush forward to the enemy. You have to have violent attack towards the enemy. You should attack with speed, constantly. You cannot stop and run. You have to run in the same force. You have to rush forward with the same force. Then only you could be successful in such battle, in such fighting. In the same way, when you are practicing, whenever there may arise any object, you have to try to attack that object violently, with speed, constantly, immediately, to show that meaning. So therefore, in the text, it is described pakhanditva pavartati. The observing power rushes forward violently with speed towards the object, to get the object without missing it. So that is the meaning which is shown by the word pa.
ကြောင်းရာမှာဒီလိုအစဉ်လာတစ်ခုကြောင်းနေခြင်းကြောင့်အမြတ်ရနိုင်တဲ့အကျိုးတွေကိုရှိဘူးဆိုတာသိနာနေထားရတယ်နားလေတော့အကျိုးရှိပါလားဆိုတော့ယုံကြည်သွားတယ်နားလေမှာယုံကြည်တာနားလေမယုံကြည်ဘူးယုံကြည်ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီလိုမကောင်းတဲ့အစဉ်ကမကောင်းတဲ့အချုပ်ချယ်တွေလုံးရောက်လို့ရဆန္ဒကလည်းပဲရှိရမယ်အသက်နဲ့လဲရင်လဲရပြီလုံးရောက်ပြီးရောဆိုရင်အဲ့ဒီဆန္ဒမျိုးရှိရတယ်ဆန္ဒရှိထားတော့ခွင့်ကြုံလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ရဲရဲရဲနဲ့ရှိရတယ်တွတ်ဆုံးနဲ့ပြန်တွေ့လို့ရှိရင်ကြောက်ခံနေလို့မရဘူးဘုရားလည်းရှိရတယ်ရဲရဲလည်းရှိရတယ်ရဲမှုရှိလာလို့ရှိရင်သူ့နေရာနဲ့တူတယ်ကောနာတတိဆိုတာတစ်ချိန်လုံးတတိဆိုတာဖြစ်ပေါ်လာတယ်ဒါလည်းပဲကျိုးရတဲ့အာရုံနဲ့စပ်ပြီးတော့တတိမဲ့လို့ဖြစ်နိုင်တဲ့ကိလေသာတွေအချုပ်ချယ်မှလို့ရင်ကောင်းတယ်ဆိုတော့ကာမဂုဏ်ကောင်းတယ်လုံခြုံရေးကောင်းတယ်ပြီးကြရင်ကောင်းတယ်အဲ့လိုဖြစ်နေလို့ရှိရင်ပျော်ရွှင်ချမ်းမြေ့မှုအပြည့်ရနိုင်တယ်ဆိုတော့ဘုရားနားလည်ထားတယ်။နားလည်ထားတော့ဒီဘောလုံးယုံကြည်ပြီးပေါ့ဒီယုံကြည်ဒီလမ်းစဉ်ပေါ်မှာလည်းယုံကြည်ပြီးပေါ့ယုံကြည်လို့ရှိရင်တကယ်ကိုချုပ်ချယ်ဣတိတာချုပ်ချယ်ကလူမျိုးတွေဆန္ဒနဲ့ပြည့်ကြတာလေဣတိတာကြီးကလူရင်ပြီးရဘာပဲဖြစ်ရဆိုတာကိုယ်ရဲ့အနည်းကိုချင်မရှိတော့စွန့်စားတဲ့ဘုရားဆိုတာလည်းရှိတာလည်းအဲ့ဒါလိုတတ်တာသတ္တဆန္ဒဝိရိယဆိုတာဒါလေးကိုရှိပါတယ်ကောတတိနဲ့တစ်ချိန်လုံးပေါ်ရအိုင်းပြီးတော့တခုလုံးပေါ်ပြီးတော့တတ်တာကပြောညံ့နေမယ်ဆိုရင်လုံငါရဲ့အကျိုးကိုနားမလည်ဘူးဒီကိလေသာရဲ့လုံမြောက်လုံငါရဲ့အကျိုးနားမလည်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တတ်တာလည်းဖြစ်ဘူးနည်းနည်းနားလည်းနည်းနည်းဖြစ်ပါပဲများများနားနေရတယ်ဒါပြီးရများများနားလည်းများများနားနေထားတော့အဲ့ဒါလည်းပြေဝအဲ့လိုမျိုးကြားဖြစ်လာဆန္ဒလည်းတကယ်လို့လို့ချင်းဖြစ်လာဘာပဲဖြစ်ရပေါ့ဒီအတင်းရဲရဲပေါ့ဒီကိုယ်နဲ့တည်းနဲ့ပဲဖြစ်နေစွန့်စားမယ်ဆိုတဲ့ဝိရိယတွေဖြစ်တာဝိရိယဖြစ်တာဒီလိုတစ်ချိန်လို့ဆိုတဲ့တတိဟာပေါ်ရအောင်လို့တော့ဆရာဘုန်းကြီးလည်းပြေဝင်လို့ဖြစ်ဖြစ်တာဒါသိတာ
Shadow says in ordinary life if you have strong wish and will to have good society, better society, and you want to bring the reformation in the society, at first it is necessary to understand the disadvantage of the old behaviors, unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy customs, unhealthy habits of the society. If you really understand how important to reform the society to bring the good behavior, better conduct in the society, and if you can see the real benefit of that reformation, then only there will be strong confidence or conviction in your act, in your process of reformation. If you don't have such understanding, if you couldn't see the defect and the best effect of the reformation, you cannot have strong desire to do. So therefore Sayadaw says, at first it is necessary to see clearly and to have proper understanding how much benefit you will get, you will gain through the Reformation. If you really know the benefit of the Reformation, then you never get back from your act. You go forward without any hesitation, without any doubt, without any confusion, without any fear. You will have heroism in your act. And when that heroic behavior will be there, not to have any mistake, you try to do the work to have the better result in your Reformation work. So in this way, you could succeed to bring the better society. In the same way, in practice also. At first, it is necessary to understand and clearly see the disadvantage of not having proper observing power in your practice. Whenever you are lacking that power, there are defilements attacking you to get down your position. So you need to see clearly how those defilements are there to disturb you, to put you in trouble. And you should try to know how much benefit you will get if you can drive away that force of defilement with possessing the strong observing power. And if you see clearly, whenever the observing power is following, you can drive away your defilements as the enemy, big enemy, and you can see the benefit of it as the observing power. So you never miss any object, each and every moment, second after second, noting after noting. That is why Sayadaw says you should have that kind of powerful observance through which you cannot get any delay. You don't linger to note the object. With speed, you jump onto it, you fall into it, you get the object immediately. No defilement could arise at that time to attack you and to put you down. You win the battle.
ရေးရမယ်ဆိုတာကကိုယ်နဲ့တဲ့ငယ်ကိုရဘူးပြောတာကိုယ်နဲ့တဲ့ငယ်ကိုရဘူးဆိုတာကိုယ်နာမှာအသက်တည်မှာမကြောက်ရဘူးဒီကိုယ်ရမှာခန္ဓာကိုယ်အမျိုးမျိုးဖြစ်တာဒီဖြစ်တော့ကိုယ်ကြာပြီးတော့အသက်တည်မှာလည်းကြောက်ပြီးတော့လာဆွေးလိုက်ကျင်းလိုက်ကြောင်းလိုက်ဒါလည်းလောက်တာဒါတတ်တည်မရှိတဲ့သဘောကြီးကြောက်ဘယ်လိုပဲပေါ်နားပါစီပြေးပါစီဆိုတော့အဲ့လိုဖြစ်ပြီးတော့မရှိရင်ကြောင်းမလို့အခန္ဓာတဲ့သဘောကြီးပေါ့ဒီစီဆက်ဆက်မှတယ်အလုံးနာလုံးကနားလို့ရှိရင်လည်းဒီအသားကြီးဖွားရတယ်အပြင်းနေမှလည်းဖွားမှလည်းအဲ့လိုသုံးမျိုးကလုံးမှအရာလို့ဆိုရင်ရုပ်တရက်မပြေးရဘူးခေါင်းနာပြေးလာခါလေးမှနေကြတဲ့ပုံမူပြီးတော့မှတယ်ပုံမူပြီးတော့ဆူဆိုင်မှတယ်အဲ့လိုလုပ်ရတယ်အလောမခန္ဓာမှအာမတမှာလျှော့စားအဲ့ဒီလျှော့တဲ့အခါလေးကြပါပဲအောင်မြင်တော့ဆုတ်ခွာခြင်းဆိုတာလ ရွှေစီပြင်းကြောက်နေတဲ့စိတ်ကလေးကစပေါင်းပြီးတော့ရွှေစဲပြင်းစဲကြောက်ရက်ပါလို့အမှတ်ပြုလို့ရတယ်လို့ပါတယ်။အဲ့ဒါဟာတကယ်လို့မနိုင်လို့အရှုံးမရတဲ့ကြောင်တော့မှကိုယ်စိတ်ကိုပုတ်ကဲပြီးတော့ရမလာမဖြစ်ရအောင်အောင်မြင်တဲ့စိတ်ပေါ်လို့ခေါ်တယ်။အဲ့ဒီလိုရှိရတယ်။နောက်ရှိပြန်ပြီးတော့ဒီတိုင်းပြန်လို့ပါများတဲ့ခါကျတော့အခါလာတဲ့သဘောတက်တူပေါ့လေဇွဲနဲ့မှတ်လို့သဘောမှန်လေးတက်ခါလာတဲ့သဘောတက်တန်တိလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဝေဒနာနိုင်လာတယ်ခန္ဓာကနိုင်လာတယ်ဝေဒနာပေါ်ကြီးရတာအဲ့ဒီမှာခန္ဓာကိုပေါ်ကြီးရတယ်လို့ရှိရင်ဝေဒနာကိုသိအောင်ဇွဲနဲ့ရှုမှတ်တယ်
So Sayadaw says here in the practice the heroic feeling means not to have any hesitation in noting each and every object, whatever object they may be or it may be. You shouldn't have such feeling, something will go with my body. I may die if we try to do in this way the practice. That type of cowardly feeling shouldn't be there. And sometimes in the practice, people are afraid of losing their sleep, losing their food, losing their comfortableness, losing their drowsiness. They don't want to lose that. They want to have lot of sleep, plenty of sleep. And they're also afraid of losing their food also. And that type of fear is really the cowardly behavior in the practice. And sometimes there may arise some kind of feeling. If I try to note this painful feeling, if something happened to my body, what can I do? Oh, the pain is so severe, so painful. It is just like immediately burning away, cracking down. I cannot bear it. I may die because of this type of practice. And that is also cowardness in the practice. You shouldn't have that kind of carefulness in the practice. Nothing could happen because of practice. However severe the pain may be, try to note and note and note. Especially whenever there will be severe pain, the yogis getting too much fear. So therefore, they are trying to gain the comfortableness, twisting and turning this way and that way, leaning, bending, stretching. All sorts of activities are going on at that time. However you change the posture, the pain doesn't go away. It will, if you have really brevity in your practice, you get back with winning point. Having well-controlled mind, noting each and every movement, even though you are to have in the practice. So therefore, Sayadaw says, when there will be painful sensation, be patient. Be patient to note the painful sensation. Never change immediately to give comfortableness to your body and to your cheating mind. Be hero to note the painful sensation. When you get much exercise, again and again, then you will see clearly the nature of that painful sensation. You will get pain as pain only, not the place of pain. When you could observe the pain as pain, no one can disturb you to keep away your noting from that pain. That is what Sayadaw says, heroism in the noting. So in this way you can have well control in the practice, not through seeking comfortableness all the time in the practice.
တချို့ယောဂီရှိသေးတယ်သူစိတ်ဆိုင်နဲ့တမာရီရအောင်ဉာဏ်ဖြစ်အောင်မှတ်ရမယ်အစားပေါ့ခန္ဓာကိုယ်ဝေဒနာတွေပေါ်လာတဲ့အခါပြီးတော့မှတ်တော့မှတ်ပါရဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့လို့ချိန်ကိုသူကစောက်တဏှာကြီးပြည့်လို့ရှိရင်ထားရမယ်ဆိုတဲ့အသိစိတ်ကရှိတယ်မဟုတ်တော့တဏှာကြီးပြည့်ထားရမယ်တော့မဟုတ်ပါဘူးအနည်းဆုံးတဏှာကြီးထိုင်ရမယ်တယောက်တည်းထူးခြားပြီးတော့ညကြရထားတော့တယ်မတော်ပဲဘူးမျက်စိပွင့်ကြည့်လိုက်ချက်ပြည့်တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကြီးဖဲ့ကြည့်လိုက်ခောက်ခဲနေတော့ဒါနာရတဲ့ကြီးဒီကကြလို့ရှိရင်နာရအကြာကြီးတော့ဆင်းဒါလေးချက်ပြည့်တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကပြည့်ကြည့်တယ်ချက်ပြည့်တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကငြင်းနေတာမဲနေတာမေ့နေတယ်ခောက်ခဲတာဆိုပြီးတော့စိတ်ကြွားပြီးဆိုရတယ်အဲ့ဒါမျိုးဖြစ်တတ်တယ်ဝေဒနာကူတော့မှချက်နေစိတ်ပေါင်းတဲ့အပိုင်းကြီးရောက်လာစားရဲ့ဝေဒနာပေါ့အဲဒီတော့အဲ့ဒါရေးရင်ဒီချီတော့ပွဲတော့သွားလို့ရှိရင်နောက်ပိုင်းဝေဒနာဘာမှမကြောက်တော့ဘူးတချီရတဲ့ချီပေါ်ပြီးအရှုံးပေးရလို့ရှိရင်လည်းနောက်ပိုင်းနေလည်းဒီလိုအရှုံးပေးရတာပဲဒါဆိုရှိတယ်ပေါ့လေ
The Sayadaw says there are some yogis, although they are trying to note the painful sensation, whatever it may be, because there are hundreds of painful sensations, not one type of painful sensations. They are observing the painful sensations and they are trying to note it with patience. But they have some type of limitation in noting that painful sensation. All the time they are opening their eyes, whether the time is already completed or not. 1 hour sitting, the pain is getting too much severe, so they are all the time want to complete the time, to end the 1 hour immediately, where they have notion in their mind that they should sit only 1 hour. After that they should get up and go away, and the pain also will go away with them. So expecting in that way, whenever they are observing the painful sensation, their eyes closing and opening to watch the watch as well as to watch the person who is ringing the person. The time is already there. 1 hour is completed. He is not getting up and ringing the bell. So, feeling strong disappointment anger arise because of the lacking of the effort in noting the pain and lacking the patience to note the pain. Sayadaw says, if you have real brevity in your practice, what use of that 1 hour? There is no such limitation. You have to sit just only for 1 hour. You can sit to gain victory, to win the pain. And if you try to note and note and note without changing the posture, if it is possible, to overcome the pain, once you overcome the pain and you think, oh, I am the hero. Now I can overcome the pain. So the gladdening thought arises in your mind, and you feel happy at that time, and now I can overcome the pain. And when you once overcome the pain, and later on, sometimes when the pain doesn't arise in your practice, even you are there to challenge, let the pain come again. You are expecting to calm the pain. So that type of brevity is necessary in the practice. But Sayadaw is not driving you to give lot of trouble to you, but to have such effort is very important in the practice. Therefore, he is trying to inspire you and to make you hero in the practice. So he is suggesting in that way, not because of hating you, but because of having great compassion to you, to give success in your practice as quick as possible.
ဒီနေ့တော့ဒါပဲတော်ဝင်နေပြီပါ
So Sayadaw says the time is over. We will stop the discourse now for today.